Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Tracy's Total Wellness, the Pillars of Total Wellness introductory series. Today is all about the feelings, our emotional pillar. This pillar at Tracy's Total Wellness is about embracing your superpower as a highly sensitive person, an empath, and learn to embody emotional resilience. So many of us have our own unique experiences when it comes to emotions and how we feel, and then how it affects us on a physiological level, where we are literally wired to feel a certain way, and then the body will respond. I have my amazing team member here, Shan, to share a little bit about her story before we do just a wonderful self-compassion ritual for emotional well-being today. I myself have struggled with this, having feelings of depression, anxiety, overwhelm, navigating all of the hormonal imbalances that actually made me feel a specific way. But then on top of that, the judgment and the shame game that we all put on ourselves when we're not feeling well, when we're having trouble, when we're overwhelmed, when we're exhausted. It's so easy to then just identify with our problems. We identify with the diagnoses we're given. We identify with the problem that we have, and it begins to then become who we are. Yeah. Our challenges, our limitations, our things that we're struggling with are not who we are at our core. The way that we feel, though, can be an internal compass. And I think for so many of us, we are taught to have that compass. The way we feel, the compass then goes right to shame, blame, something's wrong with you. No, your emotions are just feedback, trying to help you to begin to connect more to your most authentic self. So for me, when I got out of that blame game and I realized that everything I was told wasn't my identity, but that I got to embrace the way that I felt as a way to be who I am as a human. Emotion has the word motion in it. It requires movement. Emotions, when they come up, are asking something to move. Maybe the anger is asking you to finally get something off your chest that you're processing. Or it's anger sometimes is underneath it, fear. And so the anger needs to have the emotion to get deeper to the fear and to then have that healing process occur. Mm-hmm. Emotions require motion. How often do us, and I'm here, isolate and don't want to feel it and stop the motion, and then everything starts to bottle up. We explode. We start to not feel well. So I know Shan. Shan is an amazing team member. She's also a new entrepreneur with Shan Girl's Heart and opening up her creativity, but this wasn't always you, and I think you're still on this journey. So when it comes to emotional well-being and anything that I shared, is any insights that you want to share with the community around your experience?
You nailed it. Of everything you said, I deal with too, and have been dealing with my emotions for such a long time and letting illnesses stop me. I stayed, really cooped up for a very long time in my house and in my mind, locked up in my body, because I think those emotions just kind of took over and they were ruling my life. Like they were really, as opposed to me living my life the way I wanted to live, I was allowing that to kind of take the lead, and I was following along like, oh, waking up today and, maybe there was some pain or a seizure or whatever it was I was having to deal with, and allowing that to take the lead. And so I was just following along like, okay, well, I guess that's where I'm going today. I guess this will be another day in bed, versus getting out and living my life. And when I finally sat down and made the decision, I am going to live my life, and whatever happens, happens. So as opposed to letting the fear of maybe something taking me out of the game, get in the game. Like, get in the game and live, and then deal with it when it comes up. Fear stops us so much. And that is what I really had to get over, the fear of being sick and allowing the emotion of that fear rule my world. And so when I finally started to let it out and, like you said, get moving, and I was stagnant for the longest time in my bed, and I just was afraid to get up and get going. And so when I finally decided to get moving, start a business, start getting out with the community again, and start getting out and living my life the way that I chose to live it, all of a sudden things started to roll a little bit better. So maybe the migraine pops up, or maybe the pain in the back, or whatever it happens to be. I deal with it in the moment, and okay, and I can change my way of thinking or alter something in the moment, but I'm not going to stay in that bed for the rest of my life. I take my days, to rest and relax, but I can't allow that emotion of being afraid of what's going to happen take me out of the game and allow me to hide anymore. So
yeah. The motion creates that ripple effect of change, so that we're not stagnant. I love that you said that. And I've noticed this, being HSP, being an empath, is sometimes I feel like I need to retreat inward to take care of myself, and it's a very slippery slope when it then becomes isolation. And I have so many people that have shared stories, I myself included. When I'm going through something, I'll say, no, I need to practice my self-care. I need to be here. And I started to realize I was using self-care the wrong way. I was using self-care to isolate. I was using self-care to not be around other people so I could sit in my little blame storm, right? I was using self-care in the wrong way. Self-care is about offering yourself compassion, being with yourself authentically, but also your emotions require to be with other people, because our emotions have vibration. When we're with others, something can powerfully happen when you're vulnerable with someone that's there and they put a hand on your shoulder.
that's right.
And they give you a hug. We need other people in our emotional well-being. So I encourage you, my call to action today is to begin a feeling inventory ritual. Start to identify emotions more from messages from the universe versus anything around your identity of who you are or what you are. This process will help differentiate between your own energy and then the external influencers. This will help foster a deeper connection to your emotional self. I like to say, you'll be translating your emotions correctly. And for many of us, when we're in isolation, we're in self-sabotage, we're in self-blame, we're more than likely on the wrong translator. And it is translating the emotions incorrectly. Get on the right translator. Take the inventory. Start to have this deeper connection with yourself. Because then beyond that ritual, once you complete that ritual, you can make this inventory something you can do nightly. You can make it something you can have sacred space in to reflect the day's emotions. We got so much always going on. The change of seasons, what's going on in political landscape, society landscape, school schedules, you name it. There's so much always going on, and it's going to affect us emotionally. So to find a way to do this as a daily ritual, you can start to take that inventory, use the emotion that is communicating with you in the right way. Then you'll know, is this something, and in a moment we're going to do a self-soothing technique that I can do to self-soothe, or is it time for me to reach out? Is it time for me to be with others? Do I need to maybe go get my support from my people? I'm always here to support my clients with bodywork, energy healing, the coaching, some of my programs I offer. I also myself, I have a grief coach. I have a life coach. I have my own healers. And I know that I can't do it all on my own. And actually, it makes it a little bit less stressful to not feel like we have to always do it all ourselves. Know your people. When you take an emotional inventory and then you know your people, you're going to exactly give your emotions what they're asking for. So number one, get the right translator. Make sure you're listening to them. And we're going to do a ritual right now. Self-soothe when you can. Offer yourself compassion. And then you're going to know the right answer. Do I need to reach out for help? Is this just I need a day to relax? Whatever it might be, you're going to be listening correctly. You're going to make the right choices. So we chose some essential oils because I love to use oils to help me feel a certain way. Our sense of smell is our strongest sense. Aromatherapy is amazing to make us feel well. So I picked the grounding blend. So for me, sometimes I can be like, I got so much going on, or I feel everybody's stuff because I'm such an empath, that this, because it's got earthy oils and florals, it just grounds me down. And then I know you got more of the mints and the opening up, because sometimes when we're feeling down, we need to feel open. So we're going to take, the power of 3. We're just going to take 3 deep breaths of our oil.
Thank you.
And then we're going to allow that aroma to, as you close your eyes and we breathe in, and when you do this, feel like that aroma almost like coats and soothes your brain. As you breathe in, you can imagine the brain just surrendering in to the therapeutic benefit of the oil. And then when you're in this space with eyes closed, we can move inward. This is where you get to give yourself compassion and placing hands on any area of the body. The heart, the belly can be a space. Maybe you've been feeling like you've been around too much loud noises or too much noise, the ears. Maybe you feel like you've been witnessing and watching too much, the eyes, but just giving your space of compassion. And imagine the hands almost sinking in to your emotional space. Having compassionate time for self. Maybe you're having a pain. Maybe you are feeling ill. You can place your hands on those organs or those parts of your body and just allow you to be able to give yourself the beautiful gift of compassion. Compassion will get us out of fear and judgment and blame. And then when you're ready, you would open your eyes and you can take an inventory of the emotions you're feeling. If you want to take it deeper to an energetic level, you can always take note of the chakra system. It's a really easy platform I love to use in many of my experiences and my events. Crown chakra, which is right above, you can just take note. You can place your hands up to the sky. Crown chakra is connection to divine energy. Are you feeling connected or not? Your third eye chakra, you feeling connected to your divine wisdom. Throat chakra, self-expression. Your heart is love. Solar plexus, right below your rib cage, is your sense of self, self-confidence. Your sacral chakra, which is near your sacrum and your pelvic bone. This is pleasure, creativity. And then your root chakra, you can place your hands down or you can place a hand on your foot. This is feeling like you have a sense of grounding. A great inventory for overall life. You can do that or just a basic emotional inventory. So now that you are equipped with a wonderful ritual, you are going to be able to know your emotional self more. And we both can attest, when we allow our emotions to be who they are, we get to be who we are.
That's right.
Everyone, be well, and anything you want to share of your emotional inventory, ahas or insights, the platforms are here. Comment on this video, comment in community if you're seeing it somewhere, and we're, as always, here to support you. Be well.